Hey Bellas, this is Shey and you are watching In the Closet with Shey Bella. Today we have another exciting episode. You know I like to get nosy and get in those fashion and beauty closets. Well, we're going to be interviewing Mario and he has a special closet that I think you'll really enjoy. Today's subject won't be fashion. It's going to be something different. How about a little fragrance for you Bellas? Are you ready to enter the world of luxury fragrance? Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Mariotgomez. Some of you may know me as Mariotgomez. Other people know me as the olfactory ambassador. I'd like to welcome you to my fragrance closet.
Fellas, I'm so excited to have this gentleman here today. Mario, thank you so much for sharing your lovely, huge fragrance collection
You're
with us.
welcome, Shayla.
He's the best, Bellas. He's taught me so much about fragrances, perfumers. It's a whole nother world that a lot of people don't know about. So today we're gonna get a personal consultation by a professional perfumer who knows so much. So sit back, relax, get a glass of wine, tea, and let's get to smelling good. So Mario, of all things you can collect, why did you choose fragrance?
I've always been fascinated by fragrances. So ever since a young toddler or a young kid, my sister and I would fight over the wrapper of the MAJA Spanish soap that my grandmother would use. So that's one, and the other thing is when we were preteens, my cousins and I would sneak into my uncle's room while they were trying to find the Playboys. I was spritzing fragrances. I'm the one that got caught, Bellas.
Oh, so it just fascinated you.
There was always smell around the house, around my aunts, my uncles, everyone. Yeah.
Right. Growing up in a Latina family,
Right.
colors, spices, flavors.
Exactly.
Oh, love that. I love that. Well, you should have done a great job.
This is what the soap smell like. And I always have a bottle, so when I want to remember my grandmother, I always spray a little.
It's true. Fragrance does ignite memories, right? Bellas, is that, do you resonate with that? A certain scent brings you back to a memory or a place? Oh, like the love of a grandmother, like you just hug her and you can, oh, that's beautiful. Grandmother had great taste.
She did. And the one that got me caught for sneaking into my uncle's room was the Piere Cardin, and ever since then, even in 8th grade, I was wearing fragrances at my 8th grade graduation.
Wow.
So,
You asked for fragrances?
yes.
Okay. Oh, Piere Cardin, guys. It's an old school classic. This was the jam. I remember my uncle's dad. Yeah. Oh.
So to me, fragrance has always been linked to memories or an experience or wanting to make a memory.
Ooh, I like that. Making a memory with fragrance. What's your oldest? Because I know you have so many.
Well, my first was Piere Cardin.
Okay.
So, but the oldest in my collection is by Guerlain. And the reason I have this in my collection, it took me a while to decide which formulation to buy. Because sometimes you have a fragrance that comes in a parfum, eau de parfum, eau de toilette, a splash, so you kind of want to know what the concentration is. But for me, Guerlain Jicky has been around since 1889. So this is not the vintage formulation, but this is something that took me time to get, but I'm going to have you smell it because it is still in production, still being sold to this day. So this is the Jicky, and this is the parfum extract. So Jicky.
Jicky.
So Jicky by Guerlain. So
should I put it on?
Yes.
Is that the proper way we should apply our parfum to our pulse?
That's a good question because it depends on where I'm going and how. A parfum like this, I actually have decanted this to spray it because I like to spray things.
Okay, I'm a sprayer
so
too.
This one, of course, you would dab it on. And what I like to do is dab and just let it dry. So, because that way you can get the full, what I call, the olfactory journey of the fragrance and the way it was created.
Ooh, so do not rub together.
There you go.
This, if I can give you, it smells very luxurious. It smells very sophisticated. Ah.
And I do have this in the Parfum. The next variation I will also add to the collection is the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Toilette, for me, on my skin, is a more lavender.
Ooh,
This, you get the musk. It is truly a beautiful.
And I love a musk.
It's a beautiful.
So the Parfum is just a little richer in depth.
And I think the main reason I got this is one, the history behind the fragrance. Also because it was one of the first few fragrances to include a synthetic back in 1889.
Oh, they didn't.
You know, vanilla. So, or vanilla synthetic. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this lovely bottle. I have to know, have you had to replenish any of these fragrances?
I do. There is a couple that I like to replenish. And once again, this always goes back to a memory. For me, I remember my aunt taking me to Cartier and buying, I don't even remember if it was 8th grade graduation or what birthday or holiday, but she goes, what would you like? And I go, I like the way my cousins smell. So she took me to Cartier and I thought, okay, I like that fragrance. So she bought me the Falcon, this is the original Falcon, the vintage scent, which it's refills. And it took me a long time to be able to find a refill, so thank you for that individual in Portland, Oregon.
Oh wow, you had to find it on eBay.
No, in person.
Oh, in person.
So
this is such a sleek bottle. So this is actually no longer made. So when I do replenish, I replenish with, this is the newer bottle. So to give you an experience of vintage I love that
formulation. So that is the original formulation.
Okay. Nice. Clean. Very sexy. There is a masculine.
It's a nice leather.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Santo de Cartier.
Okay.
So this is the reformulation, or the newest one that you can find.
Okay. All right, it is nice, but you could tell a little bit of a difference.
And we're still getting smell of the original.
You're right. But it's very nice. Yeah.
A little bit softer.
Yeah, a little bit softer, but I do smell the leather. Yeah. It's a nice classic scent for a nice classic man.
That I always have this in my collection no matter what. And there are others that I like to do, but this is the one that I always have to have in my collection.
9th grade, Bellas. He's had this since 9th grade. This lovely bottle has actually the Love Cartier Love bracelets with the little designs on that bracelets. It's on this fragrance. This is a piece. All right. I know this is an impossible question to ask a collector, but I have to. I have to for you, Bellas. What are your favorite fragrance houses?
A lot of misconception is that people think that a certain house or designer create that specific formula or that fragrance, but it's actually independent perfumers or perfumers that work for one of the few big industries that make that fragrance. So anything that's in my collection, honestly.
Okay.
There it really is. It really is. If it's in my collection, it's because I follow the house or because of the story behind the fragrance.
So you love a lot of scents.
I love a lot of stuff. I can't really, it's hard to narrow it down.
Mario, how does your partner feel about your vast collection?
It's funny because when we first met, he was a non-fragrance person.
Really?
So I was out for the challenge of finding him a fragrance. And he goes, well, he used to work on classic cars with his dad, so there's a memory he wanted to try to find. So he goes, well, if you could find a fragrance that smells like a garage I'll start wearing it. I did find a fragrance, and it's a fragrance that's hard to wear, and it's called Garage. So,
wow.
by Comme de Garcons. So he actually, you may not like this.
No, that's good. Do you like it on him?
This is our fragrance, it's our conversation piece.
Okay.
It's hard to wear.
So,
once you smell it, you'll
like, once he wears it, he can wear it well?
I'll let you smell.
Oh, it's like a gasoline, Bellas.
It smells like you've taken your European car to get the tires changed.
Ooh,
you have a nice leather car, expensive car, but you were filling gasoline and you spilled some on your jeans or your
and I have that resin.
So it is a wonderful concept fragrance.
Right.
It is, on me, it truly turns like gasoline. On Jerry, it turns like rubber tires. So it is one of our pieces that we love, and ever since then, he has never challenged me on finding a fragrance. So he likes fragrances. Now he gets upset when he forgets to put a fragrance in his gym bag.
Wow. So be careful what you ask for,
I guess so, because you can find it.
You know, the garage is not what you want, Bellas. But we love the packaging.
But the packaging, you can't find the packaging like this anymore.
Oh,
but it is, they have a great collection. I love Comme de Garcons.
We do.
Yeah, I love Comme de Garcons.
Yes.
But I also like the very avant-garde in the entire line. So that is like a house I follow because they're very avant-garde.
Right. Oh, thank you. Mario, can you help me find my own scent?
That is something I truly love to do. Being a brand ambassador, helping people find fragrances, is something I truly love to do. So I would love to do that for you. But before I do, I have several questions to ask you.
Alrighty.
And this is basically how I ask my clients when they come up. It can be someone who has almost purchased everything in the specific line, or someone who is just wanting something new.
Yeah.
So, my first question is, what is the fragrance you have currently in your collection that you go to without even thinking about?
One that I go to that I love Gypsy Water by Byredo.
That's a good one.
I love Baltic Freak. I guess I'm a Byredo girl by Byredo.
That's on my want list.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I also love a citrus. Sometimes when I'm fatigued, guys, I need a citrus.
But which one in your collection at home is your just
go Baltic Freak right now. It's just
why
easy.
Is that?
It makes me feel sexy, fresh. I feel energetic, and the African marigold just makes me feel good.
What is it that you're looking for that you don't have in your collection?
I think I'm looking for something that is just timeless, that I can wear universal, even if it's out to the gym, to a nice dinner, to work. If I could just have one.
What's something that you've been wanting to try but afraid to try?
I would say the Santalis, the Ouds, they seem very intimidating.
Why are they intimidating to you?
They're very rich and powerful, and I'm more bubbly and light, so I just don't know if I could pull it off.
Another last question before I go pick some is, when you spray this fragrance on, what is the persona that you want to put out there?
Powerful. I want to be my power fragrance. My business, my serious, I mean business.
Okay, so I'll be right back with a couple fragrances and we'll see if you like one of them.
We'll see, Bellas.
Okay, so out of the vast collections, it was kind of hard to try to pick it down to two. I just wanted to keep it short, keep it quick, because sometimes when a person comes to the store or comes to me, they don't have that much time. So I decided to choose two fragrances. One from the house that you already wear, and one from, you were saying you're afraid to wear oud, but you also like citrus. So I try to combine those two together. So with Byredo and fluorescent.
Let's
The
give
reason I
this a
chose
whirl.
this is because it's something completely different what you would wear.
Oh, Bella's. It's like a beautiful modern bouquet. You know, very nice and modern. I like this.
And I like that. I wear fragrances what I like to wear, and I don't care for the market. If it's marketed to women, marketed to men, I don't care. I wear it.
Doesn't
if
matter.
I like it, I wear it.
Man, you can wear florals.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you said you were afraid to wear oud.
Yes.
And you like citruses. So, Acqua di Parma, they're known for their citrus fragrances.
Okay.
So this is a oud with a citrus note.
Okay.
With the Acqua di Parma DNA to it.
Ooh!
This one I think you need to spray
This
on.
is money, Bella's. No, really.
Sorry.
How soon should I smell after you spray?
I always kind of say give it a couple, about 10 seconds to wait, and then smell.
Okay.
And when you're testing a fragrance, always make sure to narrow it down, try it on the skin. Very important to try it on the skin. And this is going to develop.
Bella's.
When you have your citrus, your flirty,
Exactly.
it's an oud.
Good choice.
So-
No, really, this is fire. This is gonna be my power fragrance. Your Instagram post. You know, yeah.
Okay.
He has a twist, Bella's. He mixes fragrance and swatch watches together. And no one would think they mix and they match, but they do. He tells a beautiful story. You guys need to follow him at Mariotgomez. You will be so surprised and delighted, for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. Yes, honey.